Most of you know this about me, but if you didn't, I had a near-death experience back in 2015. And ever since then, I have talked to a ton of other experiencers, and I did a lot of research for almost the past decade. But lately, I've been seeing these videos floating around like TikTok, YouTube, everywhere. And people saying that don't go into the light when you die because it's a reincarnation trap. Now, let me just stop you right there. That's not true. That's not what the research shows. That's not what experiencers really say. And that, to me, is just fear-mongering. And I want to explain why. See, in my own experience, I didn't even go into the light. I went from here to there, instantly. Later, I was actually shown the light from the side during this, thing I was going through, and I saw beings moving through it, but it just wasn't my path. At first, I thought, wait, does this mean that my experience wasn't real? Because so many people talked about the tunnel and the light. But the more people I talked to, the more I realized I really wasn't alone. There are plenty of experiencers who don't go into the light at all. And for some, it's kind of like part of the transition. For others, like me, it just wasn't necessary. And that's okay. It doesn't make anything less real. Now, here's where the science and the stories meet. Researchers like Dr. Bruce Greyson at UVA and Pim van Lamel and in the Netherlands, they've studied hundreds of NDEs, and yes, the light shows up quite a bit, but it doesn't always show up. In some cultures, like in Papua New Guinea or, the tunnel of light, the imagery doesn't even appear. Instead, people describe completely different transitions that match their background and their belief systems. So the light is just one common pathway, but it's not universal. And here's the most important part. In research, it's never described as a trap. Never. It's described as peaceful, healing, and sometimes overwhelming with love. And trust me, that's true, even from the side. And for most people, it's the best part of their entire experience. Now let's talk about where this whole reincarnation trap thing even comes from. Because it sure in the hell didn't come from people who've actually had near-death experiences. And it definitely doesn't come from real research. This stuff mostly shows up in like spiritualist blogs through people's channeled messages. They're channeling all kinds of conspiracy theory stuff, conspiracy style awakening circles. You'll see posts claiming things like, the bright light is just a deception, it's archons, or it's hypnotism pulling you back in. It also pops up in paranormal and occult groups. People talking about the reptilians or negative entities or Earth being a prison planet where the light is just like a recycling machine for the souls. Some spiritual teachers or online authors also, they weave it into their belief systems too. They start mixing reincarnation, karma, and hidden controllers of humanity right into there. And you'll even find articles literally titled, "Warning, do not go into the light." It's like a horror movie tagline. And then finally, there's a handful of occult-type websites that frame the life review or reincarnation cycles as some manipulative process meant to keep souls trapped. But you know what? Here's the bottom line. These ideas come from speculative, spiritual, and conspiracy sources, not from experiencers and not from serious NDE scholars. The actual research, the people who've studied hundreds of cases, doesn't back this up at all. The trap narrative isn't evidence. It's a story invented online. And the irony is this. The vast majority of experiencers lose their fear of death after an NDE. We all do. We don't care anymore. We come back saying that we feel more connected. We feel more peaceful. We're more alive now. We don't come back terrified of being trapped. That's a fear narrative, and it's man-made. So when you hear someone say, "Hey, don't go into the light, it's a trap," ask yourself, are they speaking from experience? Or are they citing any research? Or are they just feeding you fear to get you attention, to get their attention? Because here's the truth, NDEs are diverse. Some people see the light and some people don't. Some go into it, some bypass it entirely. But in all the serious studies, the light has never been shown to harm anyone or trap anyone. It's just one way consciousness transitions. And honestly, what makes more sense? That millions of experiencers across the world and across cultures are all being tricked into some elaborate cosmic recycling machine? Or that human consciousness, in those moments between life and death, expresses itself in powerful and symbolic ways that feel real and transformative? So if you've had an NDE or if you've lost someone and you're wondering what they went through, don't let conspiracy fear change the story. The truth is, these experiences are about peace, love, connection. And for me, my NDE wasn't about being trapped. It was about being free. And that's what I want people to remember. So no, the light is not a reincarnation trap as far as I'm concerned. That's fear-based nonsense. The real stories and the real research paint a very, very different picture. One of comfort, not fear. So if this has helped you clear anything up, or if you've had your own experience and want to share it, please drop it in the comments. And if you see someone spreading fear about the light, maybe send them this video. Let's keep the conversation grounded in real experiences, not conspiracy theories. And if you're one of those people who are going through a spiritual awakening or anything like that, I've wrote a book. It's called Wake the Hell Up. And it's available on Amazon, paperback, or on Kindle. Thank you once again for listening to me. And check out all my stuff in the bio. Please like and subscribe. And don't be afraid. Have a great day. Bye-bye.